like morning sun, chasing points, the game's begun. Big decisions week by week, fantasy glory's what we seek. Pick your squad, the clock won't wait. Captain choice will seal your fate. Two enthusiasts breaking it down. Fantasy kings, we're taking the crown.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Tinker Time, an FPL Pod, the show for every fantasy Premier League manager who's already second-guessing their latest draft. It's Thursday, August 27th, 2026, and whether you're finally locked into your Gameweek 2 draft or just here to scout some differentials, you've come to the right place. I'm Matt, alongside Jim, and we're here to help you tweak, test, and yes, tinker your way to the top of your mini-league. We'll break down the best value picks, fixture trends, and hidden gems, so you don't have to stare at your squad screen in despair. So let's pop the hood, crack open the spreadsheet, and get tinkering. Jim, how the heck are you?
Doing great. What a great week this was. Something to do at work besides wait for the season to start. A lot of action since Monday.
And there's been a lot of FPL action.
Here too.
Nice. It has been quite a busy week. Yeah. That was a sexual joke for our listeners, allegedly. It has been quite a busy week. I agree with you. What do you want to start with?
I think transfers, because there's 5-6 days left in the window, but I feel like everything's really come to a boiling point here. So a lot of moves. The big one, obviously, following the Monday's game, Chelsea signed Emi Martinez. His 3-year goodbye tour.
Poor Robert Sanchez. So we love to get our data, right? We are data people, at our core.
When it fits
when it fits the narrative. And this stat comes from two of our best statisticians, Mitch Furby Oshana and Joe Schmo Sullivan, who they informed us. So Robert Sanchez over his Chelsea tenure has had 8 goalkeeping errors that have led to points dropped for Chelsea. And over that same time span, Emi Martinez has had 6 errors that have led to Villa dropping points. So, net positive.
That's true. Moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of insulting, though. That was like only $8.5 million. I feel like you can get $20 million for anybody these days.
I mean,
he's a World Cup winner.
World Cup winner, World Cup heckler in a shootout. I mean, that's some stuff of legend. I mean, to be fair, some of these transfer prices have just been absolutely insane. I mean, let's just talk about the big one here, right? Yeah. We've got Bradley Barcola coming over from PSG. So he was basically a bench player. Couldn't break the starting 11. He's going to be joining Liverpool for £100 million plus £40 million of add-on. So 140 million add-on. Keep in mind, right? This is a year removed from them spending 135 million on Isak. Or was it 160? I forget exactly what it was, but like
more. I think 130 was like Verts level.
Was it 135 Verts and then like 160 Isak? It doesn't matter.
Euros. Yeah.
Liverpool are just spending like crazy, and it's crazy to me. Is like these aren't really established players. Like it almost feels like they're kind of taking some really, really big bets, and they're either going to look really smart or they're going to look not that smart.
But I think Liverpool kind of need to, because their squad is like pretty thin. Like, what other attacking players do they have? With Ekatike still out, they still have the Paisan.
He is there right now. Yeah, he's there still. As far as we know, I don't know if he's in Iraola's plans. I thought I saw some tweets and reports that Iraola was planning on using him actually as a number 9, but I haven't seen him have any meaningful minutes since. So who knows? Maybe that was just some. Yeah. So yeah, But the domino effect of that move, right? There's been a lot of speculation, a lot of rumors of Cody Gakpo maybe making a move over to Spurs. There's been some rumors of Cody Gakpo potentially now moving over to Man City.
Mm.
We'll have to see. Like you mentioned, the transfer window will close Tuesday, September 1st. So we're just a few days out. Lots of time left. There will be moves to be made. We're starting to get a little bit more of that picture every day as time goes on.
Yeah, Villa making some moves too. So they shipped out Emmy, but they brought in Nicholas Jackson. So
I am
obviously
for real.
Watkins is gone. We kind of saw that one coming, but that's official now. And then Nicholas Jackson coming over from Chelsea. So at least they have an out-and-out striker that they can rely on that has Premier League experience. What's the price? I don't even.
65 million.
No, I meant FPL price.
Oh, Nicholas Jackson.
He's six
That's a
and a half
great
mil.
question. He is 6.5 mil.
Yeah, only owned by 0.3. So you have to imagine he's going to slot right in and be starting.
You would think,
Kind of a good price point there if you want to get in early.
yeah.
I don't know. Still pieces to go. They did sign Leon Goretzka to
I saw
bolster
that
the
today too.
but I don't know.
I mean, you and I feel like we're in this, we're in the camp of Villa stink.
I don't know. I've been in that camp for years, but then they just finished what third and won Europa. So
Yeah, I don't
and
know. I
they
mean, it
just
was just
lost.
a couple weeks ago, right? They were in the Super Cup and they
Yeah,
kind of gave PSG a pretty good game, right?
yeah,
So,
but they just keep losing everybody, and it's thin.
who's getting thin? Not me,
Not me.
but City. So City has officially lost
Oh yeah.
Omar Marmoush. Officially, here we go. We had the intro video today. Omar Marmoush is now on a season-long loan to Spurs, and Savio, formerly Savinho, has also made the move over to North London. He made his debut in the midweek fixture against Charlton, the FA Cup. Goal and an assist, almost got the second goal. Ben Davies said, "Not today."
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably talk about that a little bit more. But Spurs front line looking a little bit different than it did in that first week. What do you think about the Marmoush move? Marmoush priced at 7 mil. What do you think about that price and Marmoush as a player?
I think it's a good move for Spurs because the strikers we have are not good enough, and I think it's better than overpaying for somebody a bigger name, like a Thiago or a Nicholas Jackson. I think Marmouche is a better price point and maybe a little more versatile.
Hmm.
So I like it. I don't think he's not gonna be Harry Kane, but could he play with Harry Kane when Harry comes back? Absolutely. So
Absolutely.
so I
Yeah.
like Spurs not going crazy up top, filling in other attacking spots, and then that could be something we can continue to look to next year. But I don't know. We can't go into the season with an injured Solanke and old Richie as our number nines.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like there's been a lot of conversation, especially with the news of James Madison and some questions around the severity around his latest shoulder injury. They're saying maybe he dislocated his shoulder or he might have tore something. And nobody really knows what's going on. So what does that now mean? Does that mean Kudus now drops in and plays in the 10? Marmoush could play in the number 9. He could play with the number 10. He could play alongside Solanke when Solanke's healthy. So, like, I agree with you 100%. Marmoush provides that versatility. I will say, just to play devil's advocate, I always get a little bit nervous when it feels like we're trying to pick up like other teams like scraps. I guess like when that's kind of how I think of it. Like this is a player that was brought in to City what 2 years ago. he
Mm.
was he was he was brought in. He was on fire when he came in.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, well, it's warm in Egypt. It's very arid. Okay, and then just kind of fell off a cliff. I don't know if he pissed somebody off. We don't know. I mean, we saw him be able to play alongside Holland, and Holland didn't go anywhere. So why, like, what was the reason for that? Was it his motivation waned, his skill dropped off? Like what happened?
My view. Look back at when we did have Kane. Every other striker we brought in never worked out, right? Because they knew they weren't gonna take his
Vincent Janssen didn't work out.
Vincent Janssen, the Norwegian guy, not Norwegian, the other Dutch guy.
Nasser Chadley.
You know that you're not gonna be the top guy, and I feel like everybody else has fizzled out. Looking at the Harry Kane situation, everybody else fizzled out and then left. Didn't look great.
Mm.
I think Marmoush still has it. He just never got the minutes because look who else City had to choose from. So
Yeah. I for one, and I want to move on to, I am just dying for Spurs to have some players that are worth contemplating bringing in. It's been like 2 seasons now. Like Poro's been on the fringe. Solanke was kind of in the conversation at the start of last season, but injuries made him useless. It's been a long time.
yeah, I mean, all the Spurs attackers are priced well. We just need to wait until they start to click. So
The goatees, the RDZ goatees will be in tomorrow, so I'll get it
nice.
over to you. Yeah. Okay.
It's very good. What else?
All right. So, but talking about City, right? So they did lose a couple players, but they also added. So they brought in, I'm probably mispronouncing this, Ayub Boudadi or Biadi for 85 million. So the Moroccan midfielder who impressed at the World Cup, is going to be wearing number 32. Midfielder.
Bad number.
Tough number. He looks like a little boy, but I don't know.
85 is big. That's a big.
85 is pretty big.
So
Yeah.
is he expected to start next to Elliot Anderson for that much?
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think.
Be interesting to see how that impacts their defense because, like we said last week, they started like 5 defenders. Gahey, Vardiol, O'Reilly, plus the right side. So it's going to be interesting to see how he adjusts who's getting their starting spot there once he solidifies the midfield. But
yeah,
it'll only take a couple weeks if they just signed him today.
To be honest, I'm very weary of any City midfielder outside of really Semenyo until we see what ends up happening with Enzo Fernandez. If he makes his way, if City decide to fork over the 120 mil, I don't know why Chelsea wouldn't sell him, but we'll see. We got 5 more days in the window. Anything can happen.
I saw Chelsea don't want to let him go until they find a replacement, but they have so many players. It's unbelievable, the squad size.
He didn't even start. They were fine. They don't need him.
No, they got plenty. Until Caicedo gets a red card, and then you need somebody else. But
speaking of red, everyone's least favorite team in the Prem, Arsenal, they had an update on their latest center back that they brought in last week, Ezri Konsa. Arteta, quote, said he is training well and ready to start. So the 4.5 mil priced Arsenal starting center back, who is poised to potentially break FPL for a lot of managers, which, it's funny. I feel like before game week 1, so in our game week 1 preview, I think I had made a comment around just bring Konsa in because you can anticipate that he's going to make the move and you're going to want him in there.
Mm-hmm.
If you did that though, and you still had 3 Arsenal players, you kind of screwed yourself because now you have that situation where you can't make another transfer until you get within those 3 players from a team rule. So some managers actually might have locked themselves in that situation. Just saying.
I mean, you could start 4 Arsenal players this week against Villa. Feel pretty good about it.
You could,
You probably wouldn't want to do that against Chelsea next week, but
Let's table that conversation. Okay.
foreshadowing.
So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I think that's one of those moves that like it happened, and now I think it might come into play. Some other moves that like let's acknowledge them. I don't know if we need to necessarily like really consider them, but everyone's favorite yellow card collector, Liam Delap. So he joined Forest from Chelsea. That was another huge sale. What they get, 45 mil for him?
That was crazy.
Who said it? I think it was Joe. Joe Schmo Sullivan. He has more yellow cards in his career than he has goals. That's crazy.
That's not good.
That's impressive. He's got that bold. He's got that dog in him. I don't know. Forest seem to be loading up. And another one here for Forest, rumor mill. I have now seen rumors that Forest are trying to target Daniel Munoz, which would be a reunion for Daniel Munoz with Glasner, which would be really interesting for Munoz as an FPL asset, and also just for the prospect of Palace being even that much worse of a
Yeah.
defense.
And he was only like 20 million, I thought I saw that he was going to be going for. Which is very affordable.
Yeah, very affordable.
Interesting. I also just saw Fabrizio say that Ipswich are going to go for Tammy Abraham now that Nicholas
Ooh,
Jackson's in. So that could be an interesting one. How much is he? 5'5". So
I thought he was more like 6'3", 6'4", but
it's getting old.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I actually also saw Rafa Leao might be linked to Villa as well. That one fringe rumor.
I saw Galatasaray for him, which I thought was weird given how hot he was over the summer.
He's one of those players I feel like he's been rumored to move away from Milan for years. And it's like if he was good enough, I feel like he'd be gone. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, just a couple of other quick ones, and then we'll move on. So West Ham is blast from the past. Malik Juve, the wide fullback from last season who was putting in those crosses, he's going to be joining Brentford. So Brentford seemed to be strengthening a side that was very impressive in game week 1. So keep an eye out for there. I don't think he has joined the game yet. No, he has not. So we'll keep an eye on that. We have gotten confirmation that Elliot Anderson is fit. So that flag there has been removed. So any concerns you might have had in that realm, you can kind of rest those. And Bruno Guimaraes could potentially feature in game week 2. I don't know if anybody really has him in at this point in time, but he did have a price drop because he got 6.9. Nice. So enough managers have brought him in for him to drop and then sold him. So yeah, interesting enough. Jimbo, you wanna run through some of the midweek fixture highlights?
Yeah, so there was the EFL Cup going on this week. The teams that weren't finishing at the top had to play. So just some other highlights here to note. Tawi Abioni, who I know we mispronounced quite a few times last week. He did get the start here and scored and assisted for Coventry. So he's a 5.5 midfielder. Sorry, forward. One to keep in mind. Hull went through after a 1-1 draw in extra time. Really nothing there. Brentford, 6 goals. So continuing their hot streak. Your man from last year, Jaden Anthony. He's 6 mil this year. 3 assists. And then Shad, Mamadou Sangare, and Igor Thiago all on the score sheet. So Thiago missed his penalty, but came on here and scored. And then Nathan Collins, their defender, scored 2. And he's pretty cheap, right? Is he only 5?
I think so. 5.5.
Oh, all right. So I guess that's a premium defender these days.
Yes. I don't want to. Yeah.
All right. Leeds, both James Justin and Dominic Calvert-Lewin scored. So DCL, obviously in a lot of squads at his price point as people's either second or third, whether or not you have Holland up top. Newcastle scored 3. Your man, Harvey Barnes, you said was going to have a big year. He had a goal there. And Malik Thiaw, their defender, got an assist. He's popped up over the course of last year as a nice defender option.
It did.
Scores put 5 past Charlton. Mikey Moore, who I threw under the bus last week, scored and assisted. Dominic Solanke scored. Mateus Fernandez got a start and got his assist. And then Savio came on and scored and assisted in 20 minutes. Pedro Porro played too, so hopefully that means he's going to be fit for this weekend. And then rounding it out, Everton, 4-0 win over Preston. Tierno Barry, my man, got a hat trick. So probably the most informed 5.5 forward at the moment. And then their new guy, BJ, came on and got a goal and assist in 25 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see if he finally breaks into the squad here this week. I know they swapped him and Dwight O'Neal with Palace over the summer, and we'll see. You'd have to say that that left side is going to be open for him if he starts to impress, but something to keep an eye on at his price point.
25-minute BJ is pretty good.
Yeah. Say that again.
I love how FPL has already updated Tavinho's name to Savio, so they're just really all in on this rebranding.
If he scores 15 goals, will you drop 2 letters from your name?
So it would just be Mac.
Or Mahi?
Mahi. I'm basically a tuna. Hey, tuna. Yeah, I mean, do you think we really learned anything from these midweek fixtures?
No, I think it's just seeing people come back in, whether or not they're healthy and ready to start for the team. So Porro is a good sign. Avione's a good sign. Fernandez starting is good. So, yeah, I think it's more health-wise and new signings, just getting them minutes to, maybe a 20-minute cameo here means it won't be 20 minutes on Saturday. It'll be 60 minutes and then a sub. So, who knows?
I have to just, you said cameo, and when you said that, my mind immediately went to Camshaft, and that made me think of Megan Fox, and that made me think of Transformers, and we lost someone really, really tough today. And that made me think of who we lost yesterday, and that was Dolly Parton. And we lost, what we lost.
Yesterday was Tim Curry. The day prior was Dolly. It's been a tough week.
It's been a tough week. So check on your friends. You never know what could be going on.
Beautiful.
Some things are bigger than FPL.
Much bigger.
Some things, 2 things are usually bigger
right. Should we
than
get into
FPL.
the upcoming week?
I love it. Game 2 fixtures. All right, so we've got a slate in front of us. So game week 2 starts on Friday. So we have a Friday deadline this week. Friday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern game. So that means we have a 1:30 Eastern deadline. We're getting a kickoff fixture
2 or 3 more times.
Oh my God, I'm just thinking about Dolly and Megan Fox, Camshaft, whatever.
Because she's
all right. Oh boy. Okay. So on Friday, we've got Palace and City kicking things off at the 3 p.m. fixture. On Saturday, we've got a few fixtures. We've got Liverpool and Forest with the early 7:30 fixture. We've got Bournemouth and Everton at 10 a.m. along with Coventry hosting Hull. That one could be a bloodbath. And before we have Tottenham or a stinker, before we have Tottenham and Newcastle at 12:30. Jimbo, what stands out to you on Saturday?
Saturday, I think this is a big one for Liverpool. Home game, disappointing match last week. They stole a point at the end, but I think we said it. I think Isak is going to be on a short leash for FPL managers. I think Verts is on a short leash for the Liverpool fans as a whole. I think this is one that they need to win pretty conclusively and set the tone for the season here. Because all this money that they're spending they really don't have anything to show for it. Because even everything they spent last year, SilverSlime was their only bright spot. Because Ekatike did look good until he shattered his leg, so I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the pressure is starting to mount on them, and this is one that I think they need to capitalize. Primetime game, see what they could do.
Okay. So now that we've had a little bit of time to kind of see some of the dust settle, I mean, where do you stand on the Liverpool asset that is must own, right? Some folks are still very much in the Szoboszlai shop side of the shop. There's folks that are saying take the flyer on Verts. Isak is still really good value from a second forward perspective, from arguably a differential perspective. Like who who are you targeting on Liverpool?
I think it has to be Szoboszlai at this point. I think Verts has been too inconsistent, and they have other options in the midfield that they can play that have been better, and new signings that they're going to want to be showcasing and giving minutes to. So I think he's the one that is probably the most at risk for minutes. So I would say if you're going to have a midfielder, it'd be Szoboszlai, especially if he's going to
Yeah.
be taking all the penalties and free kicks. I mean, he's what, half a mil more than Verts?
Right now, he may have had the rise, so I think he might be 7-1. No, he's still 7, so he hasn't even he hasn't risen because he was so highly owned. He's sitting at 43% right now. So for him to,
Yeah.
for him to go up, I think is going to be.
And Verts is 7.5, owned by 11%. So it's like it wouldn't make sense to spend that extra half now,
Yeah.
until we see that their offenses starts clicking and consistently putting goals in. Because
Yeah.
if there's a lot of goals, I'd say Verts is probably going to be in the mix of that as a creator or a finisher. But if it's going to be, an ugly 1-1 win or a 1-1 draw or a late penalty to steal it, you're just going to be getting the 2 points and him summing out at 60 minutes. So I think it's not worth spending the extra $500,000 at the moment.
Yeah. I think I'm with you, and I think I'm trying to be a little more pragmatic about it this season because I feel like there's got to be a method to not just who you target, but when you target them, right? I think it's week 2, right? You're likely not buried in your league at this point. I mean, it's possible, but just purely like by the fact that I mean, some folks are joining the league. I mean, I think I saw FPL tweeted on their like official account. It's like you could be one of those managers that is like contemplating, did I make the right decision, or like hating your team, or you could be one of those managers that intentionally waited until week 2 and you have 15 free transfers, and it's like, what? Like you could do that, like
Good
that
point.
yeah.
That's a
So
good
like,
point.
okay, sure. But I guess what I'm eventually kind of getting to is like, you don't need to overthink it right now. I think right now, Shopify, to your point, is very clearly the easy choice. It's not like you need to make up a ton of ground right now. We have so much season left. Maybe in 5 or 6 weeks from now, or 10 or 15 weeks from now, you want to take a little bit more risk. You want to take a little bit more chance. Target Isak because he's a little bit more of a differential. Target Verth because he's a little bit more of a differential. Maybe Barcola gets a little bit more settled in. Maybe he gets off to a hot start. Who knows, right? Like that's where maybe you choose to kind of pick your spots to take your hits. Who knows? But I agree with you. I think Shabasai right now, Iraola has made every indication that he's his guy on
Yeah.
set pieces, corners, penalties, free kicks, like, and he's cheaper. Like it makes too much sense. So
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think Sean Bassett is the guy.
All right. What other match on Saturday you liking, or players you think are poised to bounce back or continue?
Well, which one do I like? I always like when the promoted clubs play each other, just because I feel like that's like it should yield a game that is like fun to watch. Like that, those teams in theory should be very familiar with each other. So that one, I guess, like I would rather watch that one over the Bournemouth Everton game. But Spurs Newcastle. I mean, Spurs gotta bounce back. The narrative around them right now is they are trying to spend their way out of relegation. Let's call it what it was, right? They were a relegation team last season. They got saved because I don't know, for whatever reason. But they're trying to spend their way out of it right now. They are spending. They're bringing players in. We've got to see results.
Yeah.
So I want to see them not put 5 goals past Charlton and then get 3 goals put past them the next week. This week was all about the excuses. I heard Van Heck say the trip to Australia took a toll physically on their body. I don't want to hear that.
You're on vacation.
Like, eat the jar of Vegemite and move on. Come on. Like, that's New Zealand. Did they go to New Zealand or did they go to Australia this offseason?
Same
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Yeah. So point being, like, I think Tottenham have a ton to prove. I mean, Savio is obviously going to be ready to go. I think Marmouche, because he's on a loan, I think technically he's allowed to play. Like, he can slot right in. There's no, like, he doesn't have to get any sort of paperwork or anything. I think I saw that like,
Why would
he does,
even if
because they just like announced it today.
yeah.
Yeah.
That means it officially went through.
Yeah. I had seen something that said, like, if it's a loan versus like a full transfer, there's like paperwork that needs to get transitioned and it takes a little bit longer. There's a difference in that process. I can't verify that. I have no idea. But either way, I really want Newcastle to be bad. I want to see Spurs come out strong in that game.
Yeah. I think the lineup's going to be better than last week, so you have to think we're going to be more competitive.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be.
All right, so moving on to Sunday. So 4 games on Sunday. Chelsea hosting Brighton to kick it off at 9 a.m., followed by Leeds and Brentford. Leeds hosting Brentford. And then Sunderland hosting Fulham. All 3 of those are at 9. And then Man United hosting the new boys, Ipswich, at 11:30. And then one game on Monday, which we'll just throw in, Villa hosting Arsenal at 3 p.m.
I'm sorry, did you say the Proud Boys or the New Boys?
I did not say the Proud Boys.
Oh, good. Okay.
You're always thinking about the Proud Boys.
Nope.
All right, which of these is sticking out for you?
Oh boy.
Proud Boys.
I think it's gotta be Chelsea Brighton. Like, Brighton, I think probably impressed. I think Brighton impressed the most. Well, one of the teams that impressed the most in game week 1, a 4-0 win, commanding win, could have had more. That easily could have been a 5-0 or a 6-0 win. There's been a lot of hype around De Kuiper. There's been a lot of hype around Sergio Gomez. Hinchelwood has looked good. Vuskovic in the back line has looked good. Verbruggen, experienced keeper, right? Brighton, Fabian Hurlter has those boys looking good through a game week. Now, we have said, we are on record, they are Jekyll and Hyde. Brighton can look great one week, really bad the next week. Who knows what they're going to come out and do this week. Chelsea, on the other hand, they look revitalized under Xavi. Now, I don't want to overreact. It's been 1 game week, right? They played Fulham. So,
and let up 2 goals to him.
And did let up 2 goals. Granted, Robert Sanchez, some of that is on him, right? So they've taken some corrective actions, right? Bringing in Devo. So I'm really excited to see that game. I just think that that's going to be 2 teams that should be in the top half of the table, maybe in the top 8 of the table. I'll give top 8.
Really?
I think Brighton can do it. I think Brighton can get in top 8.
You've said they're a 10 or 11 team every year.
Well, by definition, they're either really good or really bad. That would mean 10.
10 on a good day, 11 on a bad.
Yeah, well, Spurs have been pretty bad lately, so that would kind of put them in. So either way, I'm really liking that one. I want Palmer to be that 300-point scorer. I still want that for him. For the fun of the game. Like FPL is not fun when it's Holland, Bruno, and then like everyone else doesn't matter. Right? The game is more fun. Yeah, like the game is more fun when there's some diversity. You might be asking, what in the hell is diversity? What are you looking at here?
They're going to have a big diversity in paychecks. Man United hosting Ipswich. I think they are going to give them an absolute spanking. I think
Ipswich?
not United.
Tell me
I
why.
think, I think they're going to be ripping after last week. Can't lose opening week to Hull in that fashion. Another week for Bruno back in the squad, getting acclimated, get back into it.
Dancing's a cha-cha.
A home game against a newly promoted team. I mean, if they didn't have the game that they had last week, you would have been saying this is captain material. Bruno getting Buemo in, which to be fair, I mean we did. We said target for United for these opening two fixtures. So
Mm.
last week happened. It was the opening week, so take it with a grain of salt. But I don't think you could ignore the fixture that we have in front of us here just because of that. So I think United are going to have a bounce back week and get back in people's minds.
That's an incredibly mature and emotionally stable take from you, Jimbo.
I thought you were going to say it's incredibly hopeful.
No, I feel like that is the type of stability that a lot of managers hopefully are able to also exhibit coming out of their game week one, because that's the camp that I was in. I was really high on the Hull Ipswich pair that United had. It clearly backfired game week one.
That was only half of the plan, though.
Only half the plan.
The plan's
If
still
it
in motion.
backfires, yeah, but if it backfires at game week two, then I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah, but then you'll have two transfers.
We will talk about that. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I like where your head's at. I feel like, I mean, these are grown men. They're competitors. You gotta think that they are just humiliated losing to a newly promoted team. I mean,
There's no better
character,
motivator than humiliation.
public shame. I mean,
It's your
it's it's
speciality.
it's undefeated. I mean, come on. Leeds, Brentford's an interesting one because I do feel like there's actually quite a few FPL assets there.
Yeah.
You've got Tiago. You've got a lot of folks brought in Sangare over at Brentford. I think some folks even maybe targeted a few of the Brentford center backs, even Gallagher, as far as like keeper goes. So that's, there's a lot on the Brentford side. Over on Leeds, you've got DCL. Excuse me. You've got Joe Roden. You've got Mularemovich, who I have. I don't know. I don't know if too many folks have brought in James Trafford. I actually don't. I'd have to check what those numbers look like. He's priced at 5 mil. He's only owned by 4.2%. They actually have a pretty decent run. Brentford this week, Brighton next week, then Newcastle and Crystal Palace. So over their next four. So I mean, not a terrible keeper to target. He's priced
Yeah.
at 5 mil though. So I mean, something to think about.
Cheaper way into the Leeds defense.
Yeah, yeah. But to your point, I know you kind of grouped it together, culminating with Villa and Arsenal. I mean,
So FPL still has Villa as a red. This is like a red fixture for Arsenal. I don't think that's
how?
the case at all.
It can't be.
Yeah. I think
How often do they update the FDR?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Like they've got Newcastle as green. They have Newcastle as a 2 on the FDR. I don't know. I don't know. We could probably find that out.
I think
But
we'll see a similar Arsenal result as last week.
yeah, I mean, no Ollie Watkins. I mean, Emmy Buendia did have that stunner last season, super sub. Was it to steal the points or was it to share the points? I don't remember, but I do remember like he came on and scored like a late goal. Yeah, or does Villa have like the same bounce back that we're saying that United would have, right? Like they got humiliated by Brighton, you know?
Yeah, but I don't think we think their players are as good.
I agree with you.
They don't have Bruno in the squad,
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, on the Arsenal side, right? So just kind of running through, we talked about Kanza. I think Solis is one of those players that really excited a lot of folks going into game week 1 from his preseason form, and he also kept that excitement from his game week 1 performance. What is his ownership sitting at right now?
Let's check. I don't think his price has gone up yet, has it?
It hasn't. 26%.
Yeah.
That's pretty high.
And it wasn't that high until the Community Shield, I think. I think there was a lot of people that jumped on him, like myself, late.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's got that left side, I think, solidified. I don't even know if he has any competition. I don't see Madueke taking any of those minutes.
I saw Martinelli's going to be leaving, too.
Martinelli is learning Arabic as we speak.
That's right. That's right. He's going to Saudi.
Yeah, he's going to Saudi. So yeah, I mean, Solis is the guy. The biggest question to me is just like out of Solis, Havertz, Saka, Odegaard, Rice, Gabriel, Kanza, Raya. That's 6, 7, 8. I mean, I guess Calafiori 9. Would you throw Ben White in there? 10. Like who do you choose? None of them are a bad choice.
I think it's still early to tell. My prediction is that you're not going to want to triple up on defense like last year. I think you're going to want at least one attacker, maybe 2.
So you would lean more like
It's only 1 week.
Saka and Odegaard or Saka and Solis.
I think Solis is cheap enough that he lets you have another attacker. So Saka, maybe even Havertz.
Yeah. Odegaard's price has gone up, which is interesting.
What's he now?
6.6. So he and Solis for the same price.
I don't know. We'll see. I think we need more time
Yeah.
before we figure that one out.
Very,
I
very,
would bring in
very
a
true.
defender with Chelsea next week, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's fair. Yeah. I mean, looking at, just as far as like the projected, goals and clean sheets for, this upcoming game week, just kind of looking across the slate. I think Arsenal obviously have a phenomenal clean sheet percentage this week. Somehow 42% clean sheet percentage projection this week based on Data Pinnacle, which is pretty wild to me. United and Liverpool top the projected goals at 2.24 and 2.08 projected goals respectively. So take that for what you will. Villa are only projected at 0.86, so not necessarily getting that bounce back that we think maybe they could potentially. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game week 2, to say the least. Obviously, we're gonna still talk our teams and our potential transfers and whatnot. But before we do that, we got to pay the bills. Jimbo, this episode of Tinker Time is brought to you by Dunder Mifflin Infinity. If your business is still using outdated technology, scattered spreadsheets, and a website that looks like it was designed in 2003, it may be time to upgrade to Dunder Mifflin Infinity. Infinity is the next generation of business management technology designed to bring your company into the future, whether you're ready for it or not. With Infinity, you can manage customers, track orders, communicate with your team, and access your important documents from anywhere. It's everything you need to run a modern business, conveniently located in one place. And if you're wondering what makes Infinity different, the answer is simple. It's on the internet. That's right. No more storing important information exclusively on your office computer. No more asking your IT department where the shared drive is. No more calling your coworker because you can't remember your password. Infinity puts the power of the internet directly into your hands. And because it's backed by Dunder Mifflin, you're getting a product from the company that has spent decades understanding what businesses really need. Mostly paper. But now also websites. Dunder Mifflin Infinity. The future of business is here. And apparently, it has a homepage. Back to the pod. All right, Jimbo. So, like we said, Friday deadline, 1:30 Eastern
Yes,
PM.
sir.
Do you want to maybe talk through your transfer strategy this week?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be quick. I'm going to hold this week
Hmm.
and wait, see what we get out of our teams here, and then go into next week with 2 transfers. Really, I have 3 guys that I'm on the fence about: Isak, Foden, and Kirkesh. So a goal from Isak would be nice to ease my trigger finger there. Foden, I'm worried about Cherky taking his minutes because he did not look as good as Cherky last week. And then Kirkesh was kind of my wild card at the beginning of the season. They were hoping that he would link back up with Areola or Iraola.
Dolly Parton.
And
Oh boy.
there. So Kirkesh, Foden, and Isak are the three that I have in my crosshairs. I also have $1 million in the bank, so I should
Shorty,
be
what you drank?
able to do some damage after this week, going into week 3 with 2 transfers. So I'm going to hold and trust my team that I went into season 1, game week 1 with.
Okay. Yeah, I am kind of in the same boat. And not entirely unexpected. I think right now, as it stands, I'm probably leaning on a roll. The only thing, so I'm looking at my team right now. I've got Kinski starting goal, my back line. So I'm going 3-4-3. Hume from Sunderland playing Fulham. Muharemovic, Leeds playing Brentford. Luke Shaw playing Ipswich. Midfield of Mboma, Gibbs White, Bruno Fernandes, Sergio Gomez, and then a front three of Holland, Isak, and João Pedro. So, like, on paper, I don't hate that. Gibbs White playing Liverpool, probably not ideal. He's also flagged. He's at a 75% chance of playing right now with that knee injury. I got to do a little bit more research, see if I can maybe read the tea leaves a little bit there. The silver lining with that, I do have Van Ivik. Did I say it right?
I think you did.
On my bench, who is playing Hall. So if I had to go 4-3-3 this week, I could stomach that. I think that's
Yeah.
Something I would not be too upset about. I, I mean, obviously, I did bring in Gibbs White, so the thought of I did like reshape my team so I could bring Gibbs White in. So benching him in game week 2 is kind of like stupid. I'll admit that. But I like where your head is because I think the big thing that I want to try to build for, if I'm just looking at the fixtures, right? So I'm actually gonna bring the FDR up really quick. Hopefully you can bring it up too. So looking at game week 3, you can always get it up. So, and this is where I want to get your take specifically because I value your opinion. I think the big question, I think the big question I'm seeing from a lot of managers on the interwebs is it worth wildcarding after game week 2 or after game week 3? And the reason that we're seeing a lot of that popping up is related to who City is playing in game week 3 and who Chelsea is playing in game week 4. Now, Chelsea in game week 3 is playing Arsenal. So there's really not too much allure to having 3 Chelsea assets in game week 3, but having 3 City assets playing Coventry in game week 3 is very sexy. Having 3 Liverpool assets playing Ipswich in game week 3, very titillizing. Game week 4, you got Chelsea playing Hull. I'm just targeting basically the promoted teams. Would you, and then obviously long term, right? Those City assets, Chelsea assets, Liverpool assets, they're not the worst teams to target going forward. And then Arsenal, after game week 3, Sunderland, Brighton, Leeds, Forest, Everton, that gets you through game week 8. They've got Liverpool in game week 9, Hull in game week 10. So like a very nice run for Arsenal too.
Yeah.
Would you consider wildcard in game week 3 or 4?
If I were you, I would, because you don't have any Arsenal, and your only Chelsea is João Pedro, right? So I think it is worth doing it because after Arsenal, Chelsea have Hull, Brentford, Bournemouth, Everton, and Tottenham. Like, that's a really good run. So to not have Palmer or Rodgers as a secondary attack for Chelsea, I think you really could be missing out there. So I think if the only way you could get Palmer in is to use a wild card. I think doing it after week 2 really is the move, because I think that run for Chelsea, if you don't have 2 of them, is going to hurt. And you particularly not having any Arsenal, I think you're going to want to get them in too. So I think wild
Yeah.
carding early is not a bad move. I think the biggest question is really City. How slow a start are they going to get off to?
So let me also inject this into conversation. Would you at all consider triple captaining Holland versus Coventry in game week 3?
It depends what he does in game week 2. If he blanks next week or this weekend, no.
Okay, let's say he gets a goal this week. 1 goal, just 1 goal.
Probably not. No. I think until we see Maresca kind of put it together and have them clicking with him back in form after World Cup, I think that would be a little too risky for me.
Okay.
But you do you.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I mowed the lawn again today. I'm dry. My God. I gotta stop mowing the lawn on Thursday.
You should wear a mask.
I should. I really should.
Flatten the curve.
Solidarity, brother. Yeah, it feels so weird and like downright stupid to be like, oh, I'm gonna wild card after game week 2. But like, here's the flip of it. So like, I'm gonna roll this week likely. I'll have 2 transfers. I could definitely go like Bruno. So I've got João Pedro in my squad right now. I've got Holland in my squad. I could very easily say, I'm going to go Bruno and Mbomo to, I don't know. I could pick 2 City assets. Pick your favorite midfielders from City, right? I could go Semenyo and I could go Foden, right?
You're missing Chelsea.
Well, hang on. But then the week after, I could go one of them to Palmer. Because Chelsea's playing Arsenal this week. So do I really need Chelsea versus Arsenal in game week 3? I want them for game week 4. Or do I just do like Bruno, or do I do 1 transfer?
I think we put the pause on it. I think it's too early to tell. You're not gonna wild card this week.
Correct. Right? Yeah. So this all is with the premise roll game week 2. So I would go into game week 3 with 2 transfers.
I think it's too early to tell, because if Foden looks bad again, you're not gonna want to bring Foden in. If United look bad again, you're gonna ship Wemo out probably, or Bruno. You don't want to have both of them.
Yeah.
If Rodgers scores again, maybe you want Rodgers as a cheaper way into Chelsea. So I think it's too early to tell.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely, I think it's going to be a decision point for a lot of managers, because it's like up until I actually think there was a pretty decent template. I didn't personally follow it for the first couple game weeks.
I think you're really interested in this because your team looks like nobody else's.
It really doesn't.
Which might be good. We don't know.
It might be good. It might not be good. I mean, it's still early. I saw somebody, like one of the bigger like FPL channels and whatnot. He was like, if you scored 50 points without your bench boost this week, you did really good. And if you scored like 15 points from your bench boost, that means you had a phenomenal week. And I was looking at our league and I was like, that means a lot of people had a really good week, because a lot of people scored over 50.
Yeah.
With their bench boost, they did even better.
With captain blanks too. So
yeah, like that. We've got some smart cookies out there. So yeah, that's going to be the big debate, I think, going into game week 3 is like, maybe game week 2 is hold, but we say all the time, don't plan too far out, but it's okay to plan a little bit.
Who are you looking at for captains this week?
I think you said it. I mean, the plan was always to captain Bruno. Honestly, for game week 1 and 2, I am having a very hard time getting away from that.
Yeah.
Ipswich didn't really show anything that would have made me think it would be a bad idea to captain to not captain Bruno. Now, granted, United didn't really do anything to make me think it's a good idea from this season. The captaincy decision is purely coming from what we saw last season. So, that kind of isn't great. But what's the alternative? João Pedro playing Brighton, Holland playing Palace? Maybe.
Yeah.
Those are kind of the only two in my mind. Is Holland playing Palace or Bruno playing Ipswich. What are you thinking?
I think if you have an Arsenal attacker, you can go for that. Saka
Against Villa.
against Villa. Solis if you want a differential. I think those would be good. I'm with you. Currently, I have it on Bruno as well. I think fixture wise, it's kind of like if he scores 2 goals and gets an assist, you're going to say, how do we not think to back him at home? But
Right.
yeah, but you're right. It is going off of his form last year. But there's a reason you look at that. So he's who I have it on currently. A fun one. I think doubling down on Isak, as much as I would hate it. And it's the early game. But Forest at home, they're projected to score. Could be a nice differential.
I'm struggling with Forest. If I don't know what Forest we're getting. Are we getting the 24-25 Forest that was like very solid defensively? Like I'm thinking of like the Milenkovic, like the Murillo combination back there. Are we getting the 25-26 just like absolutely crappy Forest with just the conveyor belt of managers that came through the door who couldn't really establish a defensive identity? Or are we getting Glasner, who, like, we saw have a defensive identity at Palace, got them to have like some actual success, and he's just basically kind of bringing that now to Forest, and now he's just like he's trying to get the players to like. I don't know what to make of Forest yet.
Yeah. Because even within last year, they were terrible until the last 12 weeks.
Yeah,
Then they were incredible. But it was the same squad. So yeah, they're a tricky one.
that Liverpool run. I mean, now I'm just like I'm getting lost in the FDR because it's hard not to. That Liverpool run is it's Forest, Ipswich, Fulham, Bournemouth. Like I don't know if there's a nicer 4 fixture run over the next 4.
Yeah. Which is partly why I brought Kirkesh in for that run as well. Hoping to get some defensive points, but
Wait a minute.
we'll see. We'll see.
Wait.
Waiting.
So this is interesting. Does the FDR care if it's a home or away match? Like I'm looking at
I believe so.
Arsenal playing Villa away in Gameweek 2, and it's marked as a 4. I'm looking at Spurs playing Villa at home in Gameweek 5, and it's a 3.
Yeah, it's different. I'm looking at Liverpool. Arsenal away is a 5. Arsenal home is a 4.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that would make sense. You get like a little bit of a lower difficulty for a home match than you would away. I just don't know if I ever noticed that.
You gotta open your eyes. Yeah, your eyes checked.
That Newcastle run
All right,
doesn't
we're
have like
dragging
a.
on here.
I know.
Let's do captain's,
Okay.
draft and then wrap it up.
Okay. Captain draft.
Who won last year?
Who goes first? You won last year. Yes, you did.
I will choose to go second then.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, we're in week 2. I will choose to go first. I will go Bruno. Keep it simple. Get on base.
Bruno Fernandez or Guillermo?
Yeah.
I have to double check. All right, let me just write that down. Jim Bruno Fernandez. And I will go Holland. I have to.
Nice chalky picks.
Erling Braut Holland.
You know he's the early game.
Yeah. I feel really good about that. I want you to just really sweat it all day Saturday,
All right, we'll see.
all day Sunday. Sorry. What else we got, Jimbo? Did we cover everything?
Tinker Time team. Did he make any transfers?
Thank you for bringing that up. He also is rolling. So the Gronk AI said no chips, no transfers this week.
Who did he
So
captain?
who did he captain? I gotta bring it up. Where's the window? Pick team. He has the armband on Bruno Fernandes. It's got a really good team. Damn it. So good. Damn it. Whatever. God. Well, listen, this has been fun. I want to make sure everybody gets enough sleep because we got a lot of game time ahead of us. As always, check us out. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Drop us a comment. Let us know who you're thinking of captaining. Let us know what you're planning on doing. Wild card, game week 3, game week 4. You rolling? Let us know what you're thinking. As always, it is not too late at all to join our mini league. The code will be in the description as always. And thank you for joining us on this episode of Tinker Time. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, drop your captain pick in the comments, and we will see you after game week 2. Happy tinkering.
Draft dreams rise like morning sun, chasing points, the game's begun. Big decisions week by week, fantasy glory's what we seek. Pick your squad, the clock won't wait. Captain choice will seal your fate. Two enthusiasts breaking it down. Fantasy kings, we're taking the crown.